Hi, today I am going to be talking to my husband,
Hi.
Erwin, and we're just going to have a candid little talk. Here's Crescent. I just told him about this an hour ago before he took a shower. I asked him if he would do a little question and answer. Can you put her under her blanket? If you know me, you know the dog wants to go under her blanket, but I think she wants to hang out with us today. Anyway, I am Marion. If you haven't seen me before, I'm the Smiley Thrifter and also a Tire and Beyond. And I am a reseller on Poshmark. And I also resell a little bit on eBay, a little bit on Facebook Marketplace, and I now sell out of my Whatnot closet. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. And any comments, leave them below. I'm always happy to hear you. Why is the phone, don't shake, because my phone is a shaking. If you see the phone shaking, it's fidgety husband. So this is Erwin, and I have some questions for him.
And I've got some answers.
And I didn't ask him any of these beforehand. I mean, I know basically his answers, but I figure maybe you can, if you're thinking about reselling, you can kind of get an idea of what your spouse may think eventually. Maybe not, because you may be totally different, and I'll discuss that after he answers. And if you are reselling already, maybe you'll just get a laugh. Who knows? We got to see how serious he is and how, All right. So, Mr. Goldberg.
Yes, Mrs. Goldberg.
What do you like about me reselling? Let's start on a positive note. He's got to think about this.
What do I like about marrying and thrifting?
Reselling, not thrifting.
Reselling.
Got him on the spot here.
Well, I guess for me, the whole reason why you started on this endeavor was because of your line and the concerns that you had and that I had about you being able to work a regular job where you had to be in at a certain time, take a break at a certain time, leave at a certain time, and have all those restrictions that a regular job carries. And with reselling, it enabled you to work on your schedule because you're an early riser.
And on my couch.
And I'm not. And it afforded you the opportunity to take care of your health, because if you needed a break during a regular job, it wasn't necessarily so easy to tell the boss, hey, I need to go lay down on the couch for a while.
Right.
Whereas, when you work for yourself, you have that ability. So I would say that that's probably, for me, what I like about it, is that it allows you to kind of take care of yourself.
I like that answer because it's true, and I don't talk about it enough because I don't want to keep putting it out there, and because I say it to help people, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me or anything, because I'm capable of doing everything that another reseller is able to do in just my own time. All right, good. I like that answer. What do you hate about me reselling?
Everything else. You wanted honesty.
No, I do. But name some things, because can't be as honest. I like being honest with my audience.
Okay. I guess the biggest thing that I dislike is the maze of navigating the house amongst all of your stuff. And I know that that's our fault because of how we tried to organize initially
and open a store
and open up a retail store, which we then closed because we realized that the online market was a better opportunity for this where we live.
And everything came in the house mostly.
Yeah. So our house really is the whole business. I mean, and we have a shed for storage. We have another partial shed that we use for storage. We have our living room, our hallway, our foyer, our bedroom, your office, the kitchen, my office. And that, I guess, is one of the most frustrating things. I think the other most frustrating thing, but also an inspiring thing for me, and it's funny because I was talking about this with our friend Eric the other day, is that the money doesn't necessarily flow. It's like any other business. Reselling is like any other business, and you don't know what you're going to sell or when you're going to sell it, and what inspires me and what I find very appealing is your commitment and dedication to learning about it. I mean, you spend hours each day watching videos, reading, looking at listening to podcasts on the subject of reselling and thrifting and,
hold that
market
thought.
share and trends.
A Thrifter's Villa podcast, love it. Love Trash to Cash and Let's Do Lunch. Okay, go ahead.
So, and that, I mean, that encourages me because, having been in the field I'm in and seeing some businesses and business owners don't take the time to thoroughly research and immerse themselves in their realm, and you do, but financially, I mean, let's be honest, financially it's a struggle sometimes, because the cash flow doesn't come in
when you want it,
or maybe even when you need it, and then it's like, okay, what hoops can we jump through to kind of make it work, and as I mean, and I'll just be honest,
totally,
as a man, that doesn't feel good to me, to have, to not have that control over things. Right.
Well, it's funny because a lot of resellers, and I did a video on it, I even got on and told people, I'm really anxious about this. I'm getting stressed because I have bills to pay and the money's not coming in for like 4 days.
Right.
And, I know that becomes your problem too, because then, and I've talked to them about this, I'll ask you to borrow money and I'll borrow it and I'll give it back. But like the last time, I still haven't been able to yet. And you don't ask me for it back and you tell me you don't have to borrow it. I'm your husband, but I do, because that's who I am. But the money is not coming in when it's supposed to, or we have this summer slowdown, right, guys? We have a summer slowdown, so 1 month there's hardly any business, and now we have to wait for it to catch up. Fourth quarter is the best, so we're gonna hopefully make more money, catch up, pay back, blah blah blah. But I totally get that, because I feel like I work so hard, and I really do, and because most resellers do, and the money doesn't come in fast enough. I have to keep learning how to bring in more money from things, and that's got to be frustrating for you, because it's so frustrating for me.
But let's look at the other side of that coin, because while it's a frustration, one of the things that that you've done, especially in the last year or so, is you kind of went from when you started of getting, this is only 50 cents, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to get that, to really narrowing your focus to the items that are high profit margins, and all of the business experts and all of the business consultants and everything I've ever read and published on business, it talks about the fact that you have to look at where your higher margins are. I mean, you might need a few things that you can use as a loss leader, and you've really taken the time to look at your inventory and look at what you have available in your marketplace, in your region, to say, oh, well, maybe if I can get, maybe clothing isn't it. I mean, at first it was all clothing, and then you kind of started to look at, well, okay, clothing really wasn't it. And so I think that for everyone who's watching this who's a reseller, you have to look at what is doing well for you in your area and for your business, and then start to kind of put more of a focus on that, because otherwise you wind up spinning your wheels, and you get stuck in that. And the one thing that you haven't done is, we made a commitment to a retail store for a certain amount of time based on the information and research that we did and that was presented to us. And when that didn't work, we said, okay, we gave ourselves this time. It's time to cut our losses. Let's move to something else. And you've been very good at doing that. And as your husband, I applaud you for it.
Well, thank you. Hooray! Okay, so yes, and with that retail store, like I said, it did bring more things into the house. Look, that doesn't mean I didn't have too much stuff before. That's why we got a retail store. And if you know me, you know why. So he didn't want all the stuff in the house. You can't blame him. I wouldn't either. I'd get very frustrated. He still doesn't, but now he has no choice, kind of. So, all right. So Next one. What do you think I can do better?
So when it comes to what I think you can do better, I, and this is just personal. This has nothing to do with business. And you kind of alluded to it before when we were talking. Is you literally spend 24/7 of your waking hours on your phone working.
Guys, back me up if you're resellers in the comments. Don't we have to?
And I understand that you have to, that it's part of the business. And it's a conflict. It's a conflict between what's good for business and income versus what's good for relationship, right?
Right.
And I understand this dynamic and I go with it. And
he has a lot of meetings and things too.
And I do. I'm very busy. I volunteer.
Busy.
I have my own business.
He likes when I work, and so he can go do his stuff.
But the fact of the matter is that I do find that we tend to, even when we're together, we tend to be on our phones, and I know that that's common nowadays, and that's just a frustrating thing based on, I'll admit it, on my age. I still feel that there should be that, like even if you're watching TV, like there should still be that time when you're not being on two screens, so that you can talk about the show.
An offer
or the
comes
movie
in.
or whatever.
An offer comes in.
But
I
again,
gotta either accept it or counter.
And that's why it's hard for me, because you said, "Well, can you improve?" Well, you can improve that.
No, I know.
That would help our
but not the
relationship,
money.
and it would make me feel better personally. But then that doesn't do anything to alleviate that financial thing. So, I wish that there were a way. There is. Are you going to share it with me?
Yes, I'm going to share it with you.
Are you going to share it with them?
I'm going to share it with you too.
Okay, all right. So listen up. This is one of those take note moments.
Bonus tip. So, lime. What am I saying?
You're going to share a tip with them on how
this
you
is
don't
my
have
Lyme
to.
disease. You know that.
On how you don't have to constantly be on and doing things.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait on that, which is sad, because this doesn't normally happen to me on camera, but I can't even recall it. So, we're going to go to the next question. This is why, stay tuned till the end.
This is why
this isn't planned.
This is why you have to subscribe, so that when those Lyme moments set in and she can't remember, she will eventually remember, and then she'll do a video about it and say, "Remember back when in that video with my husband,
oh, no, I will
couldn't remember. Now I remembered. Here's that video," and then you'll get it. So subscribe.
I'm sorry, but this is me. Would you rather me do something else?
No, because you're happy doing this. And happiness in life, as I have learned, is more important than money. I'm not saying money isn't important. It's kind of hard to pay your bills if you have none. I know that. But, in the overall scheme of things, I'd rather you be happy. And
isn't it cute?
You're happy doing this.
I am happy doing it.
And and the advantage, you asked about what I liked, and I didn't mention this aspect because it kind of just hit me as we were talking. But one of the things that I like about you doing reselling, even though I don't like the fact that because of Lyme you're kind of confined to a couch a lot of the times and whatnot, what I do like about you doing reselling is I know that you're always there. Or close by,
yes,
and that if I need you, or if I want to pop home at lunch and surprise you, or if you want to pop over to where I work and surprise me for lunch, which you've done, those are things that you couldn't necessarily do if you had a traditional job.
And as time goes on, I remember now, as time goes on, I'll be able to do things like that more, because in the beginning I'm saying 3 years, right? Because it's been 3 or 4. But I didn't know what to sell. And I thought that those 50 cents dollar things were like, whoa, I can make $10, $15 on this. But you don't think about, okay, but I'll put my time into it. I'm shipping, I'm packing, I'm getting boxes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's not a lot of money to make. So as time went on with more and more of my YouTube videos, because I watch all of you guys who are probably watching this who do YouTube videos, and I'm sure I'll be watching all of you guys who are eventually going to be doing this, because it seems like content creation and reselling kind of go hand in hand, because it's part of the fun of it. People want to see it, but what's going to happen, I'm sure, within a couple of more years is I'll learn even more. I'll get rid of even more stuff that's not selling in my closet, because I do keep it in there because I paid for it.
Yeah, you
So,
never know.
yeah.
Someone, you might have something sitting in your closet for 10 years.
Right.
And on that 11th year, that's when someone is looking for that specific item.
Well,
and
because it
you
comes back in style.
and you happen to have it.
But that's what's happening now. I'm finding that some of the older stuff is going, which sometimes is a hassle and a problem. You know, guys, if you have something long, you don't even know if you still have it. You don't know if it's still in the right box. So that becomes a problem right now. So I'm constantly trying to fix my inventory, but with thousands of items, not easy. But I know that as time goes on, because I see other resellers, that I'll be able to do more. I'll be able to work less, because I'll know what to buy. There are resellers. I saw somebody the other day on Let's Do Lunch podcast, and I don't remember how to spell his name. I think it's J-Ride, J-R-I-D-E, and he's only been doing it, I told you about it, for like 19 months. And he's made so much money already, and everything that he buys, he sells, because he's willing to take a chance and spend the money. He has it now, and he's willing to get exactly what is in trend and what people need. I don't have that luxury yet, because I have so many things to sell to make that money back so that I can buy these other things. But I'm learning, and I am doing, like, I'll buy something now. I know it's going to sound like a little bit to some of you, but for like 10, 15 bucks that I never would have. If I know something I'm going to make $200 on, I'll pay $50 for it. But it has to be something that has all souls when I look it up, when I do the comp prices. So it will be different eventually. It just takes a while. I mean, I know people who are still doing it 6, 7 years, and they are finally at that point. So
Everything takes time. It takes time to build, and it takes time to grow. So if you are a reseller out there, the one thing that I can say as an outsider is don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
As long as you have the wherewithal to continue, it's one thing to continue and put yourself in further jeopardy. But if you're growing, if you're learning, if you're making those positive steps forward, like Marion is, I encourage you to keep doing that. And husbands, spouses, significant others, be there to support them. One of the things that, Marion always jokes about is, oh, well, maybe you could come work with me. And yeah, I mean, I can do the physical stuff, but I have no interest in it. And so I would be a hindrance.
Doesn't that suck? Couples that are doing this together, talk to him in the car.
However, what I will say is that I support her in all that she does. So if she needs boxes brought in, if she needs boxes made, if she needs packing materials, if she needs help finding something, if she needs help shifting all the inventory from, like we did this past weekend where we shifted all the fall winter from the back of the shed to the front and all the spring summer into the back.
Yeah.
I'm there for that. And that's a big help, because if you think about it, so, from a relationship standpoint, if I want to spend time with my wife and she has to do all that herself, especially with Lyme and dealing with some of those other issues, it might take her a week to rearrange that shed, whereas we were able to do it in the span of an hour or so and get that done. So, so be supportive, be encouraging. I tell all of my friends, whenever I hear someone say, oh, I'm going to a wedding, I need a gown. Like, have you called Marion?
Yeah, he does.
Have you checked out her closet? I've even sourced, right? That's the term. I've even helped source things because people will say to me, hey, do you think Marion could use, I have a Coach pocketbook. Yes, Marion can use a Coach pocketbook.
There she is, the dog.
So yeah, so if you work together as a team, even if you're not specifically involved, that'll kind of bring you closer. It'll help give you that investment in that, and it'll also help grow that business. So if the finances are a concern, you can help play a role in that too.
Right, like also sometimes when I have things that I know are going to sell on Facebook Marketplace, I'll ask him to put them on too, so that, or just him to put them on, because I know who's buying from him and who looks, because it's all out of your Facebook really. So some things like bicycles and things like that, I'll have him put on, or the bigger things. What else have we put on Facebook Marketplace?
Electronics.
Yeah, electronics and things like that, and they'll sell more on his than mine, so he'll do that.
That's because guys
I
like
give him a
those
little
sorts of
commission. Not always. Yeah, but sometimes half, but usually a little. Anyway,
It all goes to the same.
It all goes to the same
Doesn't really
place.
matter.
he's like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, no, I feel bad here, and it goes to the same place. But any questions you have for me? If not, we're gonna round this up. Round it up.
I have no questions for you, but if there are any guys watching this and you have any questions for me, put it in the comments below, and we'll come back and
Hold on there.
We'll answer them for you.
Or if there are any wives watching this also. It doesn't have to just be husbands, because a lot of the people I watch are the husbands who are doing it.
That's true, I guess.
So any spouses, really,
Or
right?
significant
Yeah,
others.
significant others.
Anybody. I'll answer questions from anybody. I really don't care.
He, she, we, they, you know me, anybody. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate this. I hope if nothing else you found it comical. I'm sure if you made it to this part that you liked it, so give it a like if you'd like to, and also subscribe and hit that bell for future content. You will be notified. As always, I appreciate you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Isn't she cute?
Isn't he cute?